Yeah, that's really great. What was working with Jeff Daniels like?
Oh, he's a consummate actor. Consummate actor. He was the perfect choice to be her father because he can be reserved and he can be a little um, off-putting, but he can also just be warm and caring. And he was the perfect person to be Opal's father.
I would have to agree with you on that. How would you cast the cast, like AnnaSophia, Robb, and all that?
Well, Anna, it was interesting. We did a search. We were using a wonderful casting director named Todd Thaler, and we had the head of casting at Fox help us, and we did a search all over the country. And AnnaSophia, I think, was doing a small play in Denver where she lived, and all the casting directors around the country would put the people whom they were submitting on tape and send it in. And we were getting pretty close. I can't remember the name of the other actress we were looking at, but we were down to about two or three maybe whom we liked. And then AnnaSophia's tape came in and we were all just blown away, absolutely blown away, and said, she's Opal. She's Opal. And we have remained friends over the years. I followed her career. I know her mom, and she's just a remarkable young woman and a really terrific actress. And that scene when they're in the bed, they've done a couple of photos where she's got her flashlight and she's reading the book under the bed with Winn Dixie. I mean, she and the dog connected, and she connected with the audience. So she was great. I'm glad you liked her.
That's great. That she was great to work with. You know, she was one of my favorite actresses growing up. I also saw her in Race to Witch Mountain and with Johnny Depp and Willy Wonka.
Right. And Bridge to Terabithia with Josh Hutcherson.
Oh man, Bridge to Terabithia. To me, that was a great film, but that along with Titanic made me really sad. Like,
I know.
You know, like I still get emotional to this day. Like, believe me, as far as my favorite films, Titanic and Bridge to Terabithia, they are among my top 10 favorites, but they're films that I would only watch if I'm in the mood to cry. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know. They just reach in and grab your heart and wrench it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just one of those things, however, where technically they did follow by the right storyline, even though they're sad, because that's what happened in the book with Bridge to Terabithia. And, you hate to say it, but I think the producers in Titanic did the right thing with the ending, just because of the impact of how serious the Titanic disaster was.
Oh, I know. Well, I think that's what we were looking for a little bit with the end of Winn Dixie, when the dog, when Winn Dixie runs away and you're not sure whether he's ever going to come back. And that was that moment of loss that she felt, her father felt, the entire community felt, and the audience hopefully felt, because I know the audience I saw they were crying, like, oh, the children, come back, Winn Dixie, come back, Winn Dixie. And then when Winn Dixie comes back, as opposed to Terabithia or Titanic, the audience is just feeling it's an uplifting ending. So,
like, you can't help but clap and applaud, because that's how the class reacted at the end when Winn Dixie came back. Believe me, everybody in the class and even the school that watched it with us, we all applauded.
Good. That warms my heart, makes me feel good, because that's what Kate wrote in the story, and that's what we showed on the screen.
And we weren't surprised by the ending with the movie because of what the book said, obviously, but we still applauded just because, it's that moment where you're like, not surprised, but happy,
Right. Well, I think in the book, she finds Winn Dixie under the bed in the house. And that was great for the book. But for the movie, we needed something bigger. We needed them to go out and look. And then we needed Winn Dixie to come back on his own. And when he shows up at the door and comes in, everybody just smiled and was happy and applauded.
Yeah, that was a great ending. And quite honestly, I have a feeling that the author, when she saw that, I have a feeling, knowing the author spirit, being that I'm also an author, I think what she probably thought was, how come I didn't think of that ending for the book? Know what I mean?
I think you're right. Kate did say she really liked the ending. But you know, when you're writing a book, you write the perfect story for the circumstances at the time. And she wrote, to me, a perfect story. We just took it one step further because cinematically we needed something a little bigger than finding the dog under the bed. We needed to have that big ending.
Yeah, a spectacular version of it.
Yeah, it still was the same spirit. Dog came back. A funny story that I think you'll like, when the executives at Fox were reading it, because there were two divisions that both liked the story, our executive got a call from one of them saying, this dog doesn't die, does he? Because I can't finish this script if this dog dies. It's too sad. And she said, no, dog does not die. And he goes, oh, good. Oh, good. So yeah, a lot of people got very invested in this dog.